Welcome to Karmic
Woo!
Woof!
Yeah, here we are.
So,
Another Monday.
uh,
It's June. It's June.
it's June. Yes.
Happy June. Happy June. Happy June.
Happy June. Uh, this month we should be looking for meteors. I
Yes.
mean, there have already been some that have exploded in the atmosphere. Good
Yeah.
times. Uh, what
They're
else?
being covered in the news at
Right.
all.
Right.
Yeah. No one knows it's happened because no one's
Confirmed.
reporting on it. All right.
Right.
But yeah, it's time for the big asteroid.
Yep.
Especially, well, we got 15 days until the horse month. I
Yeah.
think that was when I think it was the 19th, or is it the 18th of June? That's when the clock starts on a 30-day cycle when we have to look for asteroids. Isn't that fun?
Yep.
Pretty bunko.
Yep. And everything that we were just talking about this, he and I, everything that he has said is on track.
Actually, it's pretty scary.
Right.
Yeah.
So at least we know what to expect.
Yes, and that's important
It, even
because you could do
if,
stuff.
right, exactly.
Right.
You can mentally prepare, you can physically prepare, you can emotionally prepare, and that's important. All of those things are important.
Mm-hmm.
If you see a meteor in the sky and you immediately go into freeze, that nothing about that will help. Nothing.
And then you're
So,
going to go, where do I go? How do I get away from this? And well,
right,
you didn't even know it was coming. So good luck coming in the moment when you're in shock,
right,
figuring out a good course of action.
right. But anybody that listens to this knows it's coming.
Yeah, Monku's been saying this for a long time, and
Yeah.
it's about this specific date
Yep.
or this particular year. And then 6 months ago, he narrowed it down to the month,
Yep.
maybe longer. I don't remember, but that's when he posted it anyway.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
everyone should be prepared or preparing.
knowing that this is coming and doing something about it.
Yeah.
That's a so and actually that leads right into our topic for today.
Yeah, we were discussing this.
Yes. So we were off camera talking about habits and
Habits.
our habits that keep us from moving forward or uh it's almost like we have to satiate our habits before we can do anything else.
For whatever
So
reason. We have our reasons.
if we have a sabotage habit, or
Yeah.
if we have a dopamine habit, or an anger habit, or and
Yeah.
anything else, we can't do anything beyond until we get that out of the way. And then
And
once
then
we
we
get that out of
become
the way, then we can go forward.
moving forward. So yes, we become obstacles to ourselves.
Absolutely.
But we're always looking at the obstacle as in some external thing that we have to remove from ourselves, when in fact
Right.
we are the actual obstacle we have to
Yeah.
remove. And
Because
it's our habit. It's our habit.
it's our habit. So it kind of is an external thing,
Yeah.
but we keep using it internally,
Yeah.
which goes right back to what Banku has been saying the whole time, that we are not this.
No.
We
Right.
are the thing driving this.
Right.
That thing doesn't have those habits.
No, it's this meat sleeve that has the habits.
Right. So when we go into our awarenesses, we can't trigger those habits. Trust me, I've tried. But when you're in your awarenesses and you recognize, oh, this is where I would trigger that habit, and then it doesn't happen, there's a whole span where you could do anything else. And that is pretty awesome. We don't have the capacity to be able to just cut off all of those habits that aren't good for us, or even any habits at all, without making ourselves crazy.
Well, that's true. And then
Because
you got to find them.
that
That's the hard
that's
part
tricky.
sometimes.
Uh, you see that it's a habit, but a lot of times we say, that's not mine.
All right.
That's their habit. That's not mine. I don't do
Right.
that. Yeah, we do. So,
Everything's a mirror.
right?
Right.
Everything, everything is mirror.
Everyone.
And when I look at this, I'm like, okay, if I break it down, if I see somebody procrastinating and I'm like, ugh, lazy, judgy McJudgerson right here, but I'm not really judging them. I'm judging myself because I know for a fact that I do that. Oh, look
Yeah,
it.
I do
So
that.
we were just talking about how um, I will, if I'm doing something that I can't apply right now, I don't want to do it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because you can't get the experience you need to learn. You can only get the book knowledge because you're not in the conditions yet to get the experience that you need to learn.
And then I'm all kinds of
Naturally.
pissy because I
Right.
can't apply it. And Bunku's like, well, just start applying a little bit. It's not how I roll. It's not how I do things.
Well, I know. I get that because I'm doing the same thing.
And then I'm like, all right, wait. If I could, if I could start to implement things, what would that look like? How could I do that? Okay, well, I could do that slowly, but is everybody else okay with me doing it slowly? Also, a habit that I have, because that stops me. Because then I think that everybody else is not going to be okay with it and they're not going to be willing to work with me because I'm still learning. It's like
Right.
I have to learn everything so that I can just do it right the first time, right out of the gate.
Yeah, that's my loop. Yeah.
When I was in beauty school, I um so you're in theory and you get to work on a mannequin head while you're in theory. So you're actually doing the physical and the book work at the same time, which works for me. Then we go out on the floor. We get to work on real people. All of us are terrified.
Don't screw up.
It is like, you're going to mess up, but you also know that there's a teacher there that can fix whatever you mess up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah. It
you
helps a
can
little bit.
sort it out. Right.
Right.
But then there are things like people cutting off the tip of their finger, which did happen when I was in school. Yeah. Like
Those are
it
sharp
was dark.
scissors.
Yeah. And it was the whole tip,
Wow.
right? But that was her signal for to herself that she wasn't going to finish this program.
Okay.
She did it because her best friend wanted to, and she wanted to be with her best friend.
Oh, okay.
So that was that was actually a case of a good habit
Yeah. Okay.
because that proved to her that she didn't belong there.
That's a thing. I had a friend too that did the same thing. His friend, or we had a same extra friend. He went and joined the Air Force when we were like 18. He went and joined the Air Force, and then my friend who wanted to join him in the Air Force and be with him. So he's like, "Could you go with me to the recruitment office so that I can join the Air Force? I don't want to go alone." I said, "Yeah, I'll go." So we went into the Air Force recruitment office. They were closed. So we're leaving, and then the Army guy pops out, and he's like, "Oh, why do you want to do the Air Force?" And blah blah blah. Come in and talk to us. I'm like, "Let's leave now." And he's like, "Oh no, I can listen to what he said." He joins the Army. Like we walk in, the guy does his spiel, and he signs the paper, and I'm like, and he's like trying to, well, you should join me in the Army. I'm like, you couldn't pay me enough to be in the Army. So he now he's all proud of himself because he's in the military and his friends in the military. So he goes off to boot camp, gets himself thrown out of boot camp on a mental disability thing. But it was the same thing you're talking about there with cutting the finger.
Yes.
He offed himself out of there because he didn't belong there.
And
But
that,
and yeah, to this day he brags that he was in the army.
yeah, for like, half a minute.
Yeah,
So I was really considering these habits and my form of self sabotage. And I said, okay, every time I screw up, my habit is to say, nope, I can't do this. I'm gonna F it up. I can't. Somebody else has to do it. I will support them to do it, but that that's that's all I got.
right.
Well, okay. So if we're looking at archetypes, my archetype is a star. So what do we do with a star? We wait until it's dark and then we look up and we see that they're shining. Okay. So I've thought about this 3 ways to Christmas. Like I've tried to dismantle it all the way down until I can justify every behavior that I have. It doesn't work like that. So basically, if other people need someone to shine in the dark, and we can't get any darker than this, I mean, we can. Let's not go there. We don't have to have it any darker than what it is.
Yeah, yeah,
But if you need someone to follow, if you need someone to understand what that looks like, that's supposed to be me. I'm supposed to be able to do this. But all the way along, I have said, I can't. I don't know how. I don't have someone to follow. So I'll just be a supporting star. I'll just be the one that makes you feel better about you.
okay,
I'm
get
not
that.
good at that. I've tried. I've tried. I've tried. I'm not good at it. Because every time somebody says, I'm going to do this, I say, yes, that is amazing. You should do that. I will be right here along with you. I will be your cheerleader. I will show you the steps that you don't understand. I will help you research. I'll do the things, but you have to take the action. It's not my dream. It's not my thing. That's not where I'm going. And then when they fall down, I'm like, well, sucks to be you.
Yeah,
Because I don't have anything beyond that to be able to say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That was really hard, wasn't it?
yeah, I get that. Yeah,
This is your dream that you're talking about. This is the thing that you have always wanted. And now, because of a bump in the road, you're just going to let it go?
hmm.
No. So I recognize my habits where I'm harsh, where I talk to people where they don't feel good about the words that I'm saying. And I'm like, okay, let that be a motivation. I'm not saying that I can't change, and I'm not saying that what I'm doing is the right way. What I'm saying is, if you don't like it, change it. Tell me I need this. Okay, that's cool. What I have found is that when that happens, when somebody says, hey, I I have this thing that I really want to do, and I know that you've done a piece of this. Can you walk me through this? Absolutely. Let's break it down. And then they get to the point in their process where they're supposed to do that thing. They're like, okay, well, can you do that? No. And then I wonder
Would you?
what in me makes people think that I'm going to do that for them, that I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah. I
fulfill this part of their process.
think I might have the answer.
Hey, that's okay. That's good.
Thing. But what it occurs to me, the one thing you're very good at is enthusiasm. You can get excited about pretty much anything.
I can't.
but it comes across as very genuine because you're actually genuinely excited for whatever people are doing. So they think
And that's
that,
probably, you're probably one in, a billion people that says that I look genuine. Most people think I'm on cocaine, or that I'm fake, or that I'm,
oh, right,
I don't really believe it. And that's not true. I really do.
right. But it comes across in such a impactful way when you're, we'll say, motivating or using your enthusiasm to motivate them to move, that they think that you're so excited for them, you show yourself as more excited than they are, and therefore they mistake that as a personal investment in what they're doing. So when they can't do it, your enthusiasm will carry them through
Right.
because they've lost it and you still have it.
Right.
So I think that
I
they're,
have more enthusiasm than they do
yeah, so that's enough to carry them through. So
for
you're
their
going
own
to carry
dream.
them
I have
with their
more
own dream.
enthusiasm than they do.
And your enthusiasm, they think, puts you in a personal investment in what they're doing, even though you're not invested, nor did you
Right.
agree to be invested.
Right. What I'm invested in is their success.
Yeah.
So I thought about this. So Banku has this ability to be able to see people's potential, their true potential. And he's getting very tired. He's getting exhausted
Yes.
at this point
Yes,
because
he is. Yeah.
he sees their potential. He sees your potential. He sees my potential. He sees Max's potential. And he knows that in the right set of conditions, in the right way, that we need to be able to fulfill this, all of this potential can be met.
Yeah.
It is our job to put ourselves in the right conditions to be able to fulfill that potential.
So we don't see it.
Exactly.
He does. We don't. That would be
Right.
exhausting. Yeah.
Right. And he can't tell us
Yeah.
all of our
All the
potential
things. Yeah.
because it's like hitting the like button,
Oh, okay.
right? Oh, wow. I am a superhero. I can do that. And then, yay, thank you so much. And that yay is the like button. That's it. There is no more. There's nothing for you to discover about yourself because you already know it all.
Well, yeah.
Now, the doing part is totally different. But when we don't even try to reach our potential, there's nothing that we're doing to move towards that level that he knows that we can reach.
Right. Well, that would be the whole moving away from pain or moving towards pleasure thing, because no one's moving towards pleasure. You're only going to move if there's pain.
Right. And that's the I'm not like that.
Well, there's a lot of people like that.
Right, exactly.
I'm one of
So
them.
what, right?
So,
So I'm
yeah.
when you tell me something like this is so painful, why don't you move towards something better? Well, I can't.
That doesn't motivate me.
What?
Yeah. I have no enthusiasm. I have no motivation to move towards anything it's like you have to like get a gourd, poke me with it to move in a direction that I want to go in. I have to do that to myself because
So no,
I'm my comfort zone. Hey, this is great. I got everything set the way
right?
I want it.
And that's the thing. I think that the comfort zone is possibly the number one sabotager of sabotager, whatever.
Well, saboteur, I guess, but
Well, wouldn't I be the
we're not.
saboteur? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I don't
Anyway,
know. It's a word.
that that that's the number one sabotage tool that we use.
There we go. Yeah, the comfort zone. And
Yeah.
that's the thing that I battle with right now. I have a pretty good comfort zone, but it's not growing in it. And I know it. And in order to get where I want to go, I have to get out of it. Now, in order to get out of it, I have to let go of a lot of things.
Now, from my perspective,
Yeah.
you are not comfortable.
I am not, no, let me tell you,
You are
your perspective,
uncomfortable in your comfort.
Uncomfortable.
You are
Yeah.
comfortable in your uncomfortability. So
Yeah.
the things around you that have set you up to be comfortable don't keep you comfortable. They
Correct.
make you crazy.
Correct.
And then that's it. Just the this is what I think. I think, and it's not you personally, I think we all do this. I think we set up the conditions to be comfortable with our habits,
Well, that
however
makes sense. Yes.
uncomfortable that is.
Yeah.
Right. So
I would agree.
if, and for me, I want to be on a property so that we can do all of the things that we have talked about. Building an engine for Jeepus, my Jeep, that doesn't require gas. Like, that's pretty darn exciting to me. I don't understand why people say, I want to do these things, but they don't follow through. So I'm over
Yeah.
here going, okay, you know what? I will put myself in debt. I will put myself in whatever uncomfortable situation I have to in order to move forward with this. Because one, we have little time left, and two, I want that more than I want this.
And to me, I see it as if we don't do this right now, it ain't going to happen
Right? Which is
ever.
how
It's not going to happen.
I'm moving towards pleasure and you're moving away from pain.
Right. But
So,
that motivates me. That's the pain.
and
We,
that's how we
yeah,
get to the same place.
right.
We just get there differently.
Right.
So when I say we need a property, we need this, we need that, we need a blah blah blah, we need all these things, right? All of these things are starting to come together so that we can do that.
Well, that is true. It is
And
happening.
I'm
It
learning
is
that
happening.
putting myself out there, putting myself in uncomfortable positions, doing things that I've never done before or haven't done for 30 years, I I look at this and go, oh, okay. All right. Well, that was a dingus thing. I did that. And now I have to ask someone how to fix it, which is not in my vocabulary. I do not like the two words help me. I don't like it. Freaks me out.
Yeah.
If I have to rely on somebody else, I'm screwed.
Yeah. And that, yeah, I would take that as a personal failure. Uh,
Right? So I work through it and I don't let myself hyperventilate and I don't I don't
the
say,
problem is,
no,
I
I
don't see,
can't
like,
do this.
if someone else does that, I don't see it as a personal failure on their part. Only
Not
if
at
I do.
all. Not at all. If somebody calls me and says, help me, I'm like, tell me what you
Absolutely.
need.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
How can
there.
I help?
Right? What?
Right.
Good gravy. Good gravy.
But if I
So,
do it, I'm like, you're a personal failure, and you need to go out and on the back 1040 and shoot yourself in the head because that's it for you, buddy.
well, no, it's not shoot yourself in the head, it's shoot yourself in the foot.
In the foot. Oh, well, yeah, I knew
Yeah.
that pun. Okay.
Because you can't move forward, but you can
Right.
still be literally uncomfortable in the BS that you've created.
Yeah, how many times I've actually injured my foot, so because I can't, like,
I can't
not
move
shooting
forward.
myself in the foot, but I've pretty much almost broke my foot several times. Pretty close.
Yep. And that is how we sabotage ourselves.
Yeah.
My knee, every time it starts to heal, Max will come in and nail it again. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why do I think that I need to use Max in order to keep myself stuck? Well, that's silly. So now Max and I have this understanding that when he does a specific thing, like if we're laying down together and he just wants to schmuddle and he just needs closeness, which is fine. He's my kid and that's okay. But he can't hurt me when he does it. So he will exaggerate his movements to remind himself of what needs to happen for me to be safe. Because he wants to keep me safe, because the alternative is to live with his other parent that is not so safe.
and a lot and further background too. A lot of people who are watching this probably aren't aware of his size.
Oh, okay. So fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's totally true. My 14-year-old is not a normal sized 14-year-old. He's been giant since he was about 2.
yeah, he's like 6'3", and he's
Well,
14,
he's
15,
well on
14.
his way to 6'3", and he's over 300 pounds.
Yeah,
But his 300 pounds is solid.
solid. Yeah,
Um, yeah, like if he wanted to pick somebody up and throw them off the balcony, he could. But he has less muscle tone than other kids because of the conditions that he
well, he
has.
is, but I've felt this. He is very strong.
He is very strong.
Yeah,
It's like adrenaline kicks in and it makes up for all of the other stuff. But then he can't really focus and you might actually go over the railing. Anyway,
yeah, but he wouldn't do it
so
on purpose. So,
right, he
right.
wouldn't, well, or he would, and then he would laugh about it until he recognized that you were really hurt.
Yeah,
And then
sure,
he definitely wouldn't want that. Because when
right,
he watches movies, people get super hurt and then they get back up.
right. And since life is like the movies, that should happen.
Exactly. Um, so I'm going through how all of my habits fit together and what people need from me. If they need me to do it first, okay. Well, my question is, how can I explain to you my experiences that would help you in a way where you didn't expect your experiences to look the same way? Or say, I did that last week, because I guarantee you didn't. If you haven't seen The Observer, if you haven't worked through The Observer, you have not. So, no. What I do want to know, and this is for our viewers and anybody else that they talk to, what kind of uh what do you call that? What's the word? Uh what kind of an example do you need
Okay.
to see?
Oh, for what?
Because if Banku isn't doing it for you,
Right.
like okay, all right. We didn't see him go through the process. So
No,
as
we did not.
somebody
No.
going through the process, what do you need to see? What do you need to understand about what it is that will happen?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually.
Because when I think about, I don't have somebody to look at, I'm just kind of winging it here. I have 1,001 examples. I've got, I mean, the number one thing that comes to me is Namtos. He's a god and he's enlightened, which means that as a god, he went through that process. Like that's crazy. I
Yeah,
mean, they have everything that they need. Why would they even want it?
that's true. Yeah,
Because it's more than what they are. The abilities that they gain compared to what they have is still massive. If a god can say that, we peon little humans have it's like that's a giant leap, you know? So I would say absolutely. If we have the ability to do this, and we do, we all have the potential to be able to reach this. What are we waiting for? What is holding us back? What is the number one thing that we can't get past? The only thing that I come up with is habits.
no, I would agree with that. Because I was thinking about think everyone is so they look at themselves and what they believe they have to offer, and this goes back to their potential. They don't see it. They don't see their potential. So that, but that what they're doing is they're looking at themselves where they are right now and judging their potential based on that. And like, well, I don't really have anything to offer and I really can't have it. I don't know anything. I don't have it. I don't have the skills. I don't have the blah blah blah. I don't have it. Lack. So they don't see that they have anything to contribute. So they just don't try. They just let everyone else, like, well, I'll just sit here in limbo and try to make it look like I'm doing at least something, because I don't really believe they have no self esteem on that. And then I'll wait for other people up here to do the thing, and then perhaps I'll join along and tag along and learn something, or something will happen. And it's like grasping at straws. They don't see the potential that Banku has, and he doesn't share it. Instead, what happens usually, like from my point of view, is I start talking. Like, we have these calls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we go over. I use her. I tell her my habits. She knows all my habits, and we talk about my habits, and she helps me.
I'm the
And
sounding board,
yeah,
which is exactly what you do. Like you've done that, used a sounding board for
so,
years, decades.
yeah, music.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's exactly it. You talk and I say, okay, well,
That's what I hear. Right.
is that really the sound that you want?
Right. So we do this thing, and then every once in a while, because Bonku is always around, he's hearing everything, and then like we're just going through a habit of mine, and he comes in and he gets excited and he yells, and I'm getting chastised, but every time I'm sharing my habits, I get chastised, and after a while, I go, do I do anything right? And then you think that you're going in the opposite direction, because he's getting more upset and more upset and more upset, and then you're like, well, obviously I'm not in the right place, and then you just want to give up. So then the self-sabotage kicks in, and then you got to get out of that and start moving back up, and then you're like, well, maybe I shouldn't share anything. Well, he already knows.
Right. Right.
So
So,
but what I'm saying is that's my personal experience, and if anyone is like that, then I could see why they wouldn't move.
so when I'm sitting next to Banku,
Well, you get it worse.
no.
And it's
When
not
he's
worse. I'm not
talking to you and I sit next to him
yeah,
and he's passionate about something and he starts to yell,
yeah,
he's not yelling because shame on you, you did it wrong. He's
right,
passionate because he wants you to see you're not listening, you're being thick. He wants you to hear it. So he raises his voice so that you can hear it over the noise in your head. He's not yelling because he's mad at you. He's not yelling because he's angry. He wants you to hear it over the noise in your head, which is why he yells.
right,
But when he's yelling and he's right here, it
right over your
echoes
head.
and it just bounces around in my head. And I'm like, stop that, please.
Right,
It's deafening because I hear what he's saying to you
right.
in a way that you know what I'm saying? If you
Yeah, and I hear, well,
that's
all I'm doing is upsetting Bonku. Why do I need to be here? I
and
don't need to
that's
upset Bonku. That's not
right,
a good
but
thing to do.
that's your habit.
Right,
So you were sitting in that seat and you
right,
heard it through your ears the same way that I do. You would
right,
recognize what it is that he's saying because I can't look at him. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
he's here.
right.
So if I'm looking at him like this, I'm about to fall out of my chair. That's not comfortable either. So I'm like, okay, so then
Yeah,
it's always been uh it's my fault thing. Mea culpa, it's my fault. I can't do anything right. I'm might as
well,
well
yeah, I get
garden
that too.
any worms and blah blah blah, right?
Right,
So then we started doing cosmology and I started to look at things in a different way. When he would tell somebody, no, that's not right. You didn't listen and you skipped steps 2 and 4, and now you're on to step 16 and you screwed the pooch. Go back and redo it. Well, I don't want to. I like the way I'm doing it. Well, fine. I mean, that's great, but you're not
yeah,
doing it right. So, okay. So, did he yell? Yeah, sure. Sometimes. Did he let us sort it out for ourselves? Yes. And
No,
the
yeah, he'll do
reason
it.
for that is because if we don't see it, we can't fix it.
True. And many of us don't see it.
Right. But when we're looking at the potential, he can't tell us what that is.
No, and
Best he can
that's
do.
kind of I think that's kind of the problem. And that's it's not really a problem. He's not going to, and he shouldn't. Because that's not a problem. He's doing what he needs to do.
Right.
But I'm what I'm saying is that the people they can't see their own potential, so they don't they leave it to everyone else to do the thing.
And even 30 years ago, people could.
Yeah,
But now they're so ingrained in their habits. They
yeah.
say, okay, I just I
Give up.
I can't see
Yeah,
this. I give up. I'm I'm gonna do the best that I can. Well, no, that's a catch 22 because you say the best that you can, which would be your potential. You would be reaching your potential if you did the best that you
if you
could.
did, yes, absolutely.
Well, I'm doing the best that I can in the moment. Clearly
No,
not.
you're not.
Still the same. You see what I'm saying? Like
Right,
what we say matters. And every time we say something like that, someone is listening.
right.
Oh, I'll help you. And that's how we end up in crappy
Contract lane.
contracts,
Yeah, you don't want to be their friends.
right?
You got to pay for that.
Right.
Maybe not
So,
now, maybe not tomorrow, but soon, and for the rest of your next life.
and now I'm starting to look at this as okay. So, if I make a contract with someone and then I need to refinance that contract, if I need to renegotiate that contract a year from now, that needs to be stipulated in the first contract. I will only take this if I can renegotiate in six
That's a good
months
way. Yeah,
or in a
yeah,
year or in two
right,
days, whatever the case is.
right.
But recognize that they don't have to do that. But in order to do that in the first place, you have to be aware enough of the contracts that you're making.
Yeah, and even know that you're even making one.
The people that were helping Banku that are no longer helping Banku, what's going on there? The
They gave
people,
up.
right? The people that say yes, I am all in. I'm going to do this, and I want this training. Excellent. Like that's a big deal because then Banku has more people that know more things that can do more things with the knowledge.
Right.
Uh, every time I meet somebody, I do cosmology, a basic, super basic cosmology, no story, no nothing. I don't share it with them, but I use it for my own tools.
I do the same thing.
And then I'm able to understand what kind of habits they have and how I can take myself out of it. I can be with them. I can recognize what they need in the moment. I can be there for it. I can help them achieve that, but my habits don't have to be a part of it.
Yeah, you have a good
Whereas the
intention there.
people that
Yeah,
I've known for years and years, automatically, the habits right there. Bam. Well, that fucking sucks.
it's,
Nobody wants that. It's uncomfortable. It's terrible. And everything and everyone is judged three ways to Christmas. So if I do their chart and I see what it is that they need in the moment, how it is that I can help or not, maybe just removing myself from that is the best thing that I can do for them. Like removing myself altogether. You know what I mean?
yeah,
What is the best course of action that I can allow myself to do? Am I reaching that potential? I'm getting closer. You know what I'm saying? My face should not be stuck in any of this.
Well, no, that's you should be an observer, not a face sticker upper.
I don't
Whatever
want
that
to
means.
be a face sticker in her. I don't want to be that. I
Yeah,
want to be the observer. So getting to the place where I am the observer and seeing all of the things really, and still wanting to be a part of it, like that, because when you're in the observer, there are so many cool things that happen, and none of it requires your habits. None of it requires money or clothing or uh, food or anything. You don't have to take a breath to do anything. There is no breath. It
right.
just is. Like it's all right there.
Yeah, but no one's even reached that far to even know that it even exists, other than what you're telling them.
And
So when they people say, "Well, I've done that," no, you didn't. That's just a competition thing to make to save face.
and and I say, okay, if I've reached this, how can I help other people see that this is what I've done without giving them information that they don't need yet?
That's tricky. Yeah,
I don't know how to do that.
I
So
wouldn't
I
know how to
don't
do that.
typically share,
All right.
but I can tell you that being in the observer is the coolest thing I've ever done in my whole life, in all of my lives. Like it's the coolest thing. But being able to describe it, I
Yeah, I mean, I have an example that happened to me, what, 2 days ago, of how I used to respond to my habits and what I did 2 days ago. And they were two different things. So
ooh,
I do notice that I make small progress. To me, it's not impressive, but nothing I do is impressive to me. But so basically, what I found out is in the music thing, so I'm in management, right? I live in California and I'm in management. And I'm like, okay, so I have these artists that I manage, and I need to work on booking gigs for them for my clients. It sounds reasonable. Sounds like something you could do. So I start learning how to book, right? Taking courses and classes. I'm doing it. And lo and behold, the state of California gets a hold of me and tells me I'm breaking the law.
what?
Apparently, in California, you can either manage or you can book, but you can't do both because of some sort of talent
Oh,
law on the books.
yes.
So normally,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's not a big thing because it basically the consequences for breaking the law is that if your client finds out that you're booking for them illegally based on this law, they can void the contract immediately and get all their money back that they've ever given you.
Got
That's the consequence. You're not going to go to jail or anything. But
right.
that's basically what happens. So then I'm like, normally I would say I would go, okay, I want to learn this thing and I want to do this thing and it's good for my clients and they want me to do this thing. But the state of California doesn't want me to do this thing. So normally I would say, well, that's it. I can't do this and then move on to something else. I would just say that's not a thing I can do. So but instead I went, well, I already learned the thing. What can I do with it? Oh, I know what I could do. Then this fits and then I researched this and it is perfectly legal. It's a loophole. I can take what I've learned and I can take my clients and walk with them and teach them how to book themselves properly and get the gigs they want and help them along the way. I can advise and I can do courses and I can teach and I can educate and I can walk them through the process because they don't want the problem with them is they don't want to do it alone.
Right.
That's the pain point. It's not that they don't want to do it. They don't, but they don't want to do it alone. So if I'm there helping them doing it, that's legal. So I turned what I would have turned around and said, "Well, that's it. Give up. Let's find something else to do." There's a dead end obstacle, and then that would have made me angry. Instead, I'd found well, another way to do the same thing that I can do it without getting in trouble. The other thing is if we get property and then I'm not no longer in California, that rule never doesn't apply. But even if you do book in California, you still need a $50,000. You need to set up a $50,000 bond. In any other state in California, you only need a $5,000 bond. Now, in order to get a $50,000 bond, you need to pay $500 a year to the government or whoever for this bond. It's unclear as to why you even need one. So it's like California is it's really screwed up, and it's the entertainment capital of the world. That's the weird thing. But anyway, I found a loophole as to how I can continue doing with what I learned and help them at the same time, just doing it a different way.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm now moving in that direction.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. Now, to me, that's a small thing, but
That's
that's
not a
just my
small thing.
yeah.
Think about what you were like a year ago or 6 years ago. Would you have been able to do that?
No, I would have just given up.
And giving
Felt
up
sorry for
where?
myself and do what?
Giving up got you where?
Well, it didn't get me anywhere. And I have to start from square one, learn something else all over again, and then repeat, 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 and you never get anything done because there's always some obstacle to stop you. Right.
Exactly.
Or maybe
So
you leave the industry. I think that's originally
I
why I
think
left anyway.
that's what our potential looks like
Mm.
when we're able to shift a habit. I'm not even saying break them, shift them, turn them into something else. When we're able to do that, that's our potential. If we can shift our habits right out of ourselves, we can become enlightened. I get questions periodically from people about how can Banku be enlightened? He has habits. He has preferences.
He has learned habits that he gets along with people with.
If he doesn't have those, he looks very weird.
Yeah. Then
It's
no one will
very
follow him.
difficult to be
Yeah.
around him because he's not like anything that
No, he does not like if you're around him, no. It's
yeah,
different.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh he gives people tasks to do
Yeah.
things for him because it makes them feel better.
Yeah.
Also, he can't cook. So,
But he can chop.
but he can chop. As a matter of fact, he chopped one of those ko kabuch kab, kabocha
Yeah.
kabocha squashes. It is it's round and it's heavy,
Yeah.
very heavy.
Solid. Yeah.
Yeah. So he chopped that for me because I just don't have the strength. But he said, I chopped wood for you today. And I was like, what? He goes, it's in the fridge. But nevertheless, it very much felt like wood. I was like, oh, okay. Thank you. But those kind of things. He doesn't he does those things like a human. Because if he just snapped his fingers and suddenly it was chopped, we wouldn't be able to
Does
uh,
this. Yeah.
we wouldn't be able to keep it. The view would be too big.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He does things for us all the time, and we say, "Oh no, that was the wind. Oh no,
Yeah.
that was the." So I was able to actually see his energy in motion.
That's cool.
There was So for whatever reason, there was a suicide bird. I'm talking like we're driving and it's like this right at the windshield. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, the bird's going to die. We're going to die. Everybody's going to die. And I watched this bird swoop in and then I watched the energy push it back out.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, literally, it came in and whoosh,
Right.
It didn't even have time to barely turn with the wings, and there was no wind that would have done that. It was literally energy that was coming from Banku, and I was like, and then he kept talking, and I was like, but did you see the bird? And I knew he saw it, but like that's all that I could say. He's like, yes, I saw the bird. Did you see what I did? And I'm like, yes. It was very, very cool. Um, but I think that when we are able to do those things, that is our potential coming up. If we reach for the lowest common denominator every time, our potential will never, ever be close enough to be able to reach the top. If we turn everything that Banku teaches us into the smallest thing that we can do. Oh, look, I made money. Well, good for you. Did you did you learn anything about yourself? Did you learn anything about your awarenesses? Were you able to use your awarenesses while you did it? No, because you chose to keep it here. But if we just go up level by level, we can do that.
But I noticed too, the people who left the Sangha went back to who they were before. A lot of them, they liked who they were before. It's not that they liked who they were before; they liked the habits they had
Yes.
before,
Yes, absolutely.
and they could not see a way to actually realize the potential that Banku saw in them, or what they perhaps momentarily saw in themselves when they joined. So they went, well, what do I have left? I can't achieve this, or whatever reason they didn't think they could achieve it or even do it. So they went
Or
back
it
to the
was just
comfort
too
zone.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know I can do this, so let's go back
Right.
to that.
Right.
At least that was comfortable.
Mhm.
But was it
It was familiar.
familiar?
That's the
Yes.
difference.
That's
Everything
important word. Familiar.
everything about the the awarenesses is somehow familiar and uncomfortable all at the same time. Uh, Yesterday, the energies that we had going on just throughout the day, you know, and I didn't look at the calendar. I don't know, but I know that every time something happened, my initial reaction was to be angry or to be sad or to be feel some kind of way about it. And because I was in my awarenesses on purpose all day long, I couldn't I couldn't feel some kind of way about it. And I was like, now
Yeah.
what? Now what do I do? Well, I would just watch it. Just see, you know, is there anything that I can do here? And then this morning I was able to actually, so I did something, I messed it up. And instead of saying, well, that's it, I need somebody else to do it because I can't do it because I'm a total screw up, I called and found somebody that could walk me through the process and helped me fix it. Like, what? Okay, this is good. This is good stuff. I can do this. That was a step for me. It wasn't necessarily a big step, but it was a step away from my habits. So now I have to stand in that. I can't go back to my habits. I've already done the thing. I can't take it back. Kind of
Yeah.
exciting, kind of nerve
Yeah.
wracking.
Well, it is nerve wracking. I think most people would go back to that, but still.
And like, I've already done the thing,
Right.
and other people know that I did the thing.
Right.
So if I want what I say I want, this is what I got to do. And I really want the thing I say I want.
Yeah, but I believe that you do. When those people say they want something, I don't believe they want it. I think they want it right now.
Right.
5 minutes later, they don't want it. A day later, whatever, a long time. But I believe that when you say you want a thing, you want it tomorrow, the next day, the week later, a month later. It's the same intensity of enthusiasm.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's a rare thing personally, but
So I'll tell
maybe
you
it's
where I
not.
learned this from,
Yeah.
honestly. Max.
Oh, okay.
When he says he wants Planes the video game,
Oh,
how
yeah,
does it go?
it's
Planes the video game, potato present, big
big
house,
house.
power wash game.
Now there's a power washing. Yes.
Yeah. Everything about his being, all of his cells are working together to make that happen.
It does not change. No matter how much time goes by, years can go by, and it's the same thing
But
every day, every
only
day.
until he gets it.
Yeah. Then it next,
Yep.
next thing.
Yep. So the interesting thing is he asked for Madagascar, the video game,
Yes.
Madagascar 2, the video game,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for months.
Couple months. Yes.
And then he got it and he stopped asking for it. And I was like,
Yep.
well, I fully expected him to be playing it every day, all day, the way that he asked for it.
Right.
But instead, he plays it when he has the when the conditions line up for him to be able to do it.
Okay.
While you were here, nobody else in the house could figure out how to WTF our way through this thing. You figured it out, and then now Gloria the hippo is diving like a princess, and it's amazing and wonderful. And now he's gotten past that, but he also learned how to do it.
Oh, he did. Okay. Because I told him
So
you got to turn the thing this way.
exactly. So now he can take the things that he learned in those moments with me and Bonku and you, and he can do all of those things and see if those work before he needs help with something else.
Okay. That's cool.
So when I look at this and I say, okay, I am letting desire drive me. No, I'm driving my desire. I know exactly what needs to happen. I know exactly what I want in order for that to work. Where do I need to be in order for these conditions to be met? How do I set the conditions for me to be in the place that I need to be in order for me to move forward? I work with the deities, the Kurukula and Ikazati and Line Face Takini, and like just keep going. Um, for all of those that know about Tree, uh, it looks like Tree is gonna stay here.
Personal choice or
Yes,
okay. Interesting. Okay, I did not expect that.
because Tree derives all of his, I say he because he just feels like a he, but um, all of his support is from all of the other trees that he's connected to.
Well, okay, that makes sense.
And Tree would rather fight with all of the trees that he's connected to than be put into a smaller tree in a pot until we can transfer him into the ground.
Right, and then even then,
He would be
uh,
small and he would most likely be taken out first.
there's not a lot of trees on that property if we get that property. Yeah,
Well, they are. It's just they're, you know,
they're out in the periphery. Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Um, so I'm like, I get it. That makes absolute sense to me. If you have a support system and you know that y'all can fight together, do it.
Right.
But learn the things that you need to do to make the best out of what you've got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you have a support system, if you have a family, if you have friends that absolutely stick together and you all know what's coming. The meteors and the men of ill intent and all of the things that they have planned with the real ID and the 15-minute cities and not being able to get infrastructure when we need it. If you're ready for all of that with a support system, you are 100% better than somebody that knows it's coming but hasn't done anything to do that because they're lone wolfing it. Karmic Woof,
Yeah,
by the way, is
it's
not
not going to
about
be.
lone wolfing. We are about
Yeah,
building a community, and that's the whole point. To be able to take back what you learn to your community and to
right,
be able to help them grow so that everyone is safe.
right.
Unless, of course, they're the ones that want to destroy everything, and then they can pee up a rope.
Yeah, it's funny because I had something to say, and now it's gone. It was a good thing to say, though. No, it's yeah. It's like, why? How can something leave so quickly? It had to do with habits. But I think where I was going with the fact is that I noticed that we tend as humans. Oh, here's where I was going. So, let's see, thank you, awarenesses. Uh, I think that there are like outside of this meat sleeve, and I'm talking about before we were born in this meat sleeve. We were more at some point we're more aware of our potential than we are after we're born in this meat sleeve. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I often to myself complain to myself silently in my head, not really to other
Nobody else
people.
will listen.
No, yeah, no less lit. Like it, it, it is completely crazy to me why I would put myself here in this time to do these things to save the world. I'm not going to call it, I'm not saving the world by myself. I'm not saying that I'm getting, but yeah, the things I have to do in order to move things forward. And I'm like, that and it's like, who, like, you want to blame someone, like, who put me here in this spot, in this place, in this time to, to have to do all of these things and get over all of my habits, and some horrible god did this to me, and I resist and I protest, and it turns out that I did.
It was me.
And I'm like, so if I did that, and I did, because that's the truth, according to Bonku,
Yep.
we put ourselves here. Our habits, our karma put us here, and to meet these conditions. So if this is the case, and I'm blaming someone else for being, and I'm the one who did it, then obviously I knew my own potential beforehand.
Yep.
To even be able to put myself in the situation, I have to know the situation at some degree to even put myself here to do this. So, which means that at some point before I was born, I was actually more intelligent at some point than where I am now because I saw the potential to even put myself here.
Yep.
Is that even a truth, you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, when we say things like, according to Banku,
Well, yeah, I don't want to say
hang on,
according. That's how I heard. That doesn't
right,
mean
hang
he
on, hang
said
on.
that.
When we say things like, according to Banku, we actually can validate whether or not that's true.
True.
When I look at the tools that we have, if Banku tells me something about myself and I'm like, nope, you're seeing it wrong. If I truly believe that, I will go bring out my chart and he'll be like, okay, okay, fine, you're right. No, I am going to show you where it is that I see this other thing.
Yeah.
And then okay. And then we go through the whole thing. And
Right.
he's like, see, this right here, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This piece right here. And I'm like, but that's not what I was talking about. Oh, because he sees all of us. He sees the whole thing. If we are only talking about this teeny tiny piece, this over here affects this teeny tiny piece. Well, okay, but that's not what I was talking about. Yes, I do that. I'm not denying that. I'm saying I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this over here. But you can't talk about that over there without talking about this thing here. Fine. And then I have to sit in the uncomfortableness of that. Nobody is right or wrong. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about looking at the big picture.
Well, yeah.
Recognizing that I can't talk about this little thing over here if I'm not willing to look at this thing over here.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Okay, I did. I looked at it. So what?
Yeah.
Being able to ask questions. Like, people don't ask Bunku questions. Like, how can we be better at being me? How can I be better at being me and move forward? Well, I gotta let go of the whole face sticking thing.
Yeah, I think it's because I don't want to hear the answer.
That's what I think too.
Because I've asked him things and I didn't like to hear the answer, but I heard the answer. And not only did I hear the answer, I actually moved on it. And sometimes,
The other day we were talking and we were talking about something else, and you were like, well, where's the mirror there? And you were like, oh, I don't like that.
I like that mirror.
What it was, but it was funny. And I thought about that. How many times do we look in the mirror and we don't like what we see?
Yeah,
So
I'm not going that direction.
right, we just cover the mirrors. Like, I don't want to look at that. Okay,
Well, because if you ask Bonku a question, he might not answer like right then. He might even like you might even think he's not even paying attention. 2 hours later, boom, right in your face. Like what? Now he's got the answer, and you're like, yeah, I can't refute that. Yeah, you feel like you're this low.
and that was never the intention.
Well, not his intention, no, but he's
Right,
telling you the truth.
exactly. And
You just don't want to hear it.
because he is all about the truth.
He doesn't care one way or the like. He's not emotionally
No.
fulfilled in giving you the truth.
So when he gets passionate about something or when he
Yeah,
gets loud about something, it's that he's trying to share the truth,
yeah,
not from his point of view, but from the truth,
yeah.
right? Like, okay, so how do we prove that? Well, first, you open your eyeballs and you look around. Are there people that are starving in the same country that you're in right now? Yes. Okay. Are there people that are trying to help but are being sabotaged or stopped? Yes. Those are two truths. Can't deny them. When Banku talks about truth, that is exactly what he's saying. He's not giving you a bunch of fluff. He's not giving you a bunch of, well, I feel this and I think that, and he's giving you the facts that you too can look up,
If you wanted to, but no one wants to do that. That's work.
right? But then people come in and they're like, well, my God will fix this. Okay, well, your God prays to
Who?
enlightened ones. So
Yes, the
where do
gods
you
pray to the enlightened ones.
yep.
This is true.
So where do you think that your God is going to help you do this? Well, he's never let me down yet. Are you sure
Let
about
you down. Oh, okay.
that? Are you sure about that? I don't think that people's beliefs are necessarily wrong. I think they're limited. I
Yeah, that's
think
good. I like
I
that.
think that
That's true.
that is the point of beliefs.
Yeah.
Beliefs are limited.
Yeah. They very, and especially these days.
Yeah,
And I think we do it on purpose as humans.
so that we can contain how big the picture is.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, if we say, I believe that none of this is real, and we don't actually believe it, we're
Right.
just talking to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if we see something that is irrefutable, like the truth, then we can say, yes, I believe that. I believe that because I saw it with my own eyes. When it's this big, and that is what happens when we have to see it with our own eyes, it's only because we can't see any bigger than right here.
Right. And I'm a master of that. I got tunnel vision like you don't believe. I can look at the smallest thing, and that's the only thing in my world right there in that moment. That's a habit I'm breaking.
That is really good. That is
Yeah,
really good. I like that.
but I'm very good at that. I am an expert at looking at the smallest picture possible.
So I thought about this. You know when this is how this goes. You know when you're in a submarine and you look through the little
The little hole.
telescope
Yeah.
thing?
Oh, yeah. Periscope. Yes.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And then you look and you're like, okay, well, there's the picture,
Yeah.
but you have to turn in order to see the whole picture.
Yes.
While you're turning, you are still only seeing this much.
Yeah. And this over here that you first saw it might be changing by the time you get back
Exactly.
around.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, that's that's a little like trying to become enlightened by only keeping your view this big,
Yeah.
you know? Because you can't control all of the other things that are happening. So if you expand your view, you can recognize that these things are constantly changing. Some of them are slow, some of them are fast, and you can set the conditions for yourself to be in the place that you need to be, to either miss what's happening or to gain the momentum of what's happening, or however that needs to work. But you control that as long as your view gets bigger. But when we're constantly like, I'm going to periscope this ship, it's not going to work.
And the problem is when you look at a periscope and your world is so small of what you're seeing, you think you can control the smallest, like if everything's small, I can control that much. But anything outside of this, I don't feel like I can control, even though you can't really control this. You think you can. So you keep your world small on purpose because you believe on some instinctual level. I'm not even going to call it conscious, maybe subconscious, that you can actually
Right.
control these things. If your world ever gets bigger than this, you go crazy because you realize that you have no control over anything. So you go back to the small.
So how, if you think about how big your view is,
Mhm.
that's how big you are,
Yeah.
because you have to shrink yourself in order to fit in that view. So if you expand, you can expand,
Yes.
which means that if the view is limitless, so are you.
Well, that's very profound. Yes. I think
And
that's the truth.
and if the only thing that you can control is you,
Right.
and you are limitless, you control everything.
Right. And that's the thing that has to materialize as a belief.
And like, okay, so going full circle, that
Yeah.
excites me.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
That is very exciting.
And that
I
excites you,
am
then I know that's possible. So see, that's the star in motion.
I am limitless. If I am limitless, that means everything is.
It's true. And it's
Every
only the view that stops it.
right. So if you're tired of constantly trying to navigate a boat that is, you know, constantly in motion, maybe expand the view,
Right.
understand what's carrying the boat, understand what's hitting it, or, what, who's driving it really? Did you put somebody
Sure.
else in charge of it?
Right.
What are they doing? they're just they're the guy from Men in Black, the mailman that's smoking a cigarette and he's got
Oh
5,000
yeah,
hands and he's doing all the mail at once. Maybe it's him. Who knows?
could be. But yeah. So I think we're out of time.
I
We've
think
gone
we are out of
way
time.
over time.
Yep.
So, but this was a good show. So it was, yeah, self-sabotage and obstacles and all this, being an obstacle to yourself and all the other things. So hopefully everyone got something out of this.
Hopefully. I know we
Yes,
did.
I did. So, hey, if we're just talking to ourselves here, that's a win.
Hey,
But if you would like to contact us, please do. If you'd like us to talk about something, please contact us. We would
and
like to talk about anything you'd like to hear.
yeah. And if you can answer my question about what you need, if you can describe what it is that you need to see, let me know.
Yeah,
Please let Jason
yeah.
know. Let all of
Let
us.
us know. I'm going to put all of our contact information in the description of this video. I always do. You can go to any video and find our contact information, and feel free to contact all of us. You can even contact Bonku and ask questions because he'll answer them, and he likes questions. Um,
Yes. He likes questions over statements.
Overstatements, yes, like legitimate questions, not like, yeah, statements.
Yeah.
So please do, and we look forward to talking to you next week. And if you don't contact us, then you're going to have to hear what we have to say next week. If you do contact us, we'll talk about what you want to talk about next week. So that's how it works here. So please
Absolutely.
contact us, and we will talk to you soon. And have a good week. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining us
Thank
at Karmic
you.
Woof. Thank you.